And welcome to the Chicago Bears franchise rebuild. Here today, we will be going through all 3 preseason games and get ready and put together the 53-man roster and get ready for year number 2. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I hope you're all having a great day. Please leave a like, comment down below what you thought of today's action, and don't forget to subscribe. I do want to start off today's episode by thanking every single one of you throughout these last few weeks for interacting with the videos, leaving comments, leaving likes, all of it. It's much greatly appreciated, and I see you guys. I am doing my absolute best to get these videos out to you guys as quickly as possible. This video typically takes the longest just because I do play every single game and I don't have a ton of time to always get everything all organized and everything. But if you are new to the channel and you haven't seen one of these preseason videos, typically I hop in, I kind of talk a little bit, show you guys a little bit of the highlights, and we kind of go through every single game and kind of more or less my expectation for the team moving forward. As you guys can see, I did do the training camp. I'm not the type of person that likes to sit down and retry. I give myself one go, so these are some of more the highlights and the 30-ish minutes that I took to play the training camp. I'm not really good at it, so overall wise, I'm not the best out of it. Though I do want to talk to you guys a little bit about XP sliders very quickly, and gameplay sliders. I do use Mr. Hurricane's dash Mat10 on the Mat10 Sports Forum. Their gameplay and XP sliders. A little bit of adjustments here and there, and I will be adjusting the injury slider when we get into week 1. Probably going to raise it by a point or 2. I don't know where it's at right now, but that's really overall where I'm thinking of. If you guys are interested in using those sliders, I highly recommend them. Highly competitive games, and yeah. But before we get into any sort of action here, before we hop into the first game versus the Cleveland Browns, let's go through this roster fairly quickly, and just some of the major moves that we decided to make for this team in the first offseason, where we made a lot of changes to the roster. When we start off here on the offensive side of the ball, I mean, we drafted Kendall Bush in the first round with the first ever pick. We signed OBJ. We brought in Connor Williams. I also decided to bring in Antonio Gibson. We went out there and we brought in a ton of talent here to truly try to help out this offense, and Justin feels the best that we possibly can. Now, in terms of competition-wise, the number 2 receiver is very much, and the number 3 is very much up for grabs between OBJ, Tyler Scott, and Kendall Bush. All 3 of these guys are going to get an opportunity during the preseason to really make known of their skill sets, and I think each one of them brings a different skill set to the table, but I'm excited to see what they can provide for this offense. In terms of the running back, I'm going to be giving Rashad Penny, Khalil Herbert, as well as Antonio Gibson each an opportunity to be the starter. They'll all get some playing time here during the preseason, different scenarios and everything else. And I did decide to sign undrafted free agent BJ Cash here, who is much more of a receiving back. I just kind of wanted to see what his skill set can bring to the table. Seems like he can also do some sort of kick returns, I believe. Yeah, he can. So if he can't make an impact anywhere, it potentially could be there. In terms of the offensive line, the only competition here is at right guard. Is it going to be the veteran Nate Davis or Bomer here? Brad here, who is more of an agile type of guy, but he's a rookie who has hidden development. The injury concern is, though, there. More of our changes, though, happened on the defensive side of the football, where we brought in the likes of Josh Allen here, Jamal Adams here, as well as CJ Gardner-Johnson. Those were the 3 big free agent acquisitions, trades, however the heck you want to really describe it. We drafted Max Cox here in the first round. We traded back up in the first round, drafted Martinez, brought in Poona Ford here. We drafted Tyler Chamberlain here. We made a ton of moves to really help out this defense here, and I'm hoping that, we can really figure out who's going to be the starters. We're trying to figure out between Robinson and Cam Sample who's going to be the starters. We're just trying to figure out who's the best run stopping in the base defense and who can provide a rush here. I'm excited to see what Dexter can bring into year number 2. In terms of the secondary, because of the fact that we have CJ Gardner-Johnson and Eddie Jackson with Adams here, you know, are we going to go with 3 safeties or are we going to be going with 3 corners? You know, I think CJ can play in the slot if necessary. I think even Eddie Jackson could play in the slot. And, you know, who would be on the outside between Cox, Stevenson, and Gordon? That's the next question. I've seen comments of trading either Gordon or Eddie Jackson, and for the time being, I'm not going to make that trade, but it's definitely on the table, especially if year 2 does not show any sort of improvements. I would say TJ Edwards' job is up for challenge here because of Tyler Chamberlain, who we drafted in the 3rd round. He's an excellent athlete here. Just got to see if he can be able to tackle, basically. I'm expecting all these guys to get a lot of playing time here. I'm expecting all these guys to get a lot of opportunities, and I'm excited to see what we can provide here on defense. We made a ton of change. I mean, we have currently potentially like 4 or 5 to 6 new starters on this defense, and we need that. So let's get into the preseason games. That's enough of me talking. Let's get into some preseason. We're going to go through these fairly quickly. I'm expecting this episode to be about 30 to 40 minutes long. It's just going to be some of the big games here. So let's get into it. And here comes Justin Fields taking the field with his first team offense here. Fields entering into year 2 under Dwight Pianzo here. You know, we know what Justin Fields can bring to the table in terms of his athletic ability. And the major thing that we have to really kind of figure out with Fields is, can he just not turn over the football? It was a massive issue in year 1, and hopefully entering into year 2, we can really slow those down here, as I have not played a Madden game now, and it feels like a few weeks here, so it's going to take me a little bit of an adjustment, as well as we're dealing with a new offense and defensive playbook here as we fired our coordinators here. I don't remember exactly which playbooks we're going with, but they are new, so expect different plays to be seen here. But entering into year 2, I want to see now Justin Fields take the next step here. I need to see him be able to show that that he can become the franchise quarterback. A 3rd down and 8 here. This is an important spot. Let's go see what we got here with DJ Moore. The alpha receiver can't hold on. And it's preseason, but we're in our own 25. I'll just punt it away here. And this is the look of the new defense here, where we have a bunch of new starters across the board. We're playing against Deshaun Watson and company. And this defense a year ago gave out a ton of yards, over 5,000 plus yardage. And I'm hoping entering into year 2, we're better at stopping the run. We're better at tackling. We're better at creating a pass rush with Josh Allen here, who we signed in free agency to a massive 6-year, 150 million plus contract here, as Grover Dexter here is penalized here. But this defense is very important to kind of get on track here. And I'm hoping in year 2 we can do so. Here comes a 1st down and 5, and this play, and again, tackling is an issue with this roster. And that's something that we have to definitely change here. Here at the 36, Deshaun Watson will hand the ball off to Nick Chubb here, and Chubb breaks free, and he's going to go all the way. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, one of the best running backs in this league. And our defensive struggles are still very much apparent here, even with all the new acquisitions that we have made. This could be another long year for our defense. And we're trying to figure out who's going to be the Robin to DJ Moore in this year. I hope we have it here, especially with OBJ here, who catches this football over the middle. Odell Beckham, who signed a 2-year, $18 million contract. I'm excited to have Odell on this roster. I think he can bring a little bit of difference to the table. He's a veteran receiver, and I think he can really help out this offense. And I'm hoping that Rashad Penny can at least add to the season that he had. He had over 800 rushing yards. So we traded him away, or traded for him from the Philadelphia Eagles. Though we still want to utilize Justin Fields and his athletic ability with the read options, and that's something that I'm not going to shy away here. As you guys can see, we pick up 4 yards here with Justin Fields. Of course, we want to see Kendall Bush get involved here. How much is he going to play an impact in this season? As this pass going to go to DJ Moore, and there is the alpha receiver himself, who's going to get involved here in the preseason. I love having DJ Moore. He was the league leader in receiving yards and receiving touchdowns with over 1,800 yards and 18 touchdowns. And we're excited to have him on this roster still. Midfield, as Fields is getting into a little bit of a rhythm now, as he's going to look down the field, passes off the mark. Empty look here for Fields as he's going to try to get this conversion. Looks to throw, gets the ball to Beckham. OBJ is upended here. The ex-Cleveland Brown, drafted by the New York Giants. It's 4th down. We'll go for it here. Here comes a 4th down and 5 here for Fields. Takes the snap. He looks to throw for the first-round pick, and that is Kendall Bush, and that ball is intercepted by Greg Newsom. And on a promising possession here is immediately taken away. Second look of this defense here. We got to be able to see a change, at least in terms of tackling here, and at least in run pursuit here. And Nick Chubb is just running all over our defense. He will find the end zone yet again here. Touchdown, Cleveland. And this is feeling like an image of year number 1. Can't have that. Well, we're putting together a good drive here as we're entering now into Cleveland territory. And here's Kendall Bush with the target. Can't hold on. That pass was batted away because of Bell. So far, this offense is slowly moving up the field. We're utilizing every bit of our weaponry here, as we're going to get this ball now to Penny, and we want to see what Penny can do here. He did regress, and I'm hoping that he can at least be a quality. I mean, I'm hoping all of these running backs can provide something here. You know, all 3 of these guys, Antonio Gibson, Gibson is very also important here, but this pass is badly thrown here, and now we got to get Justin Fields into the rhythm here. But we're going to send out our field goal unit. This is the rookie Breach here with the kick. He's a 79 overall, hidden dev kicker with 99 kick power, and he will bang this one through. Very excited to have him, and we'll give him a glove. I'm trying to give all the rookies a little bit of personality, I guess. Well, we're going to see the second team defense here, and a lot of these guys are going to get a lot of opportunities. Some of these guys are role players on the defense, like that tackle right there by Max Cox here. But a lot of these guys are playing for playing time, and they're going to get a lot of opportunities here. You know, we have our young defensive linemen. We have our young linebackers out there. Some of them are undrafted as well, giving a lot of guys playing time. And here's Tyler Chamberlain right there with an excellent TFL. You love seeing this kid, and you know what? He's playing for a job right now, at least in terms of a starting role here, and I definitely think if he can handle it, it would be fantastic for our defense, because TJ Edwards, you know, it's not that he's getting too old, but he is kind of getting old here, as there is Jonathan Abram there, and he makes that good tackle. You know, a lot of these guys here are going to be role players. A lot of these guys are going to play special teams. Some of them will be playing in a variety of different packages here, and I'm excited to see what they can do, as I don't know who's in at quarterback for this Cleveland team, but it's going to be a quick 3 and out here. This second team defense here does their job here. Now we'll get to see the backup offense. This backup offense is led by Andy Dalton here, the veteran quarterback, who I'm hoping can provide at least a little guidance here for Justin Fields. He's bounced around the league here, and you know, there's still a lot of competition. We have the 2 rookie receivers, Tyler Scott out there. You know, we're gonna have a plethora of running backs, and I'm hoping that Dalton can provide something, and that's just a terrible throw here. But hopefully here with the number 2 defense, or the number 2 offense here, we can make some plays here. Matt Dumb is out there. He's the speedster number 17. Let's try to get him the ball here. See what he can do. Not liking anything. Tyler Scott can't hold on. It's 4th down. And we might as well just punt it back to this Cleveland team. Well, as you guys can see, first preseason game is not going in our favor. We really have struggled to stop the run. That's been probably one of our better plays. But Cleveland's up 51-6. They've ran all over our defense. Our offense has really struggled to get into any sort of rhythm. And after one preseason game, it's clear and obvious to me that Andy Dalton is not the backup quarterback of even probably this season. I mean, Dalton had really looked bad, and it's bad. And there's certain positional groups that we don't really have a clear and obvious backup here, as we're wrapping up preseason week 1 here, losing 51-6 here. Some positives. I mean, Tyler Chamberlain definitely impressed. They're all 3 young receivers impressed. The undrafted rookie quarterback impressed. The kicker made 2 out of his 2 field goals, so that's positive. But overall, preseason week 1 is something that we will definitely want to forget. And we'll move on to preseason week 2. We'll talk more about this roster throughout the preseason. As we're entering into preseason week 2, you know, there's a lot more questions that we need to answer this week. Gotta definitely figure out the backup quarterback with Andy Dalton. Dalton did not play very well in the first preseason game versus the Browns. Would love to see what he can do. Still figuring out the backup running back position, or the starting running back position. This week we're giving Khalil Herbert the opportunity. Still figuring out which young corner is going to be the new number 2. And we're going to give a lot of these guys opportunities this week. And still trying to figure out also the backup tight end. We have a couple undrafted rookies that we want to take a look at this week. But we also want to get this number 1 offense in a rhythm this week. And that's really the number 1 importance of everything. So we'll have an opportunity to see it first and foremost. So let's go get into preseason week number 2. And here comes Justin Fields and his offense here. In preseason week 1, he was only able to go down the field and get a field goal. I'd like for him to go down the field and get into some sort of rhythm with this new offense. We're playing with a new playbook here, and hopefully we can figure it out. This week we're also putting, Kendall Bush in the slot this week. We're going to see if a big body slot receiver could help out, and first play is going to be a sack. That's Brandon Browning and company here. And, you know, those are our 2 tackles that struggled. And you can't really have that in preseason, or really at all here. Still have OBJ out there. I still think he is the primary receiver. So this pass is somehow caught here by Cole Kmet. And Tevin Jenkins is still down on the field. And he's our best offensive lineman. If we lose Jenkins for any significant amount of time, it's a massive loss for this offensive line, because we don't really have a ton of linemen to really figure out. You know, that's something else that I've been thinking about recently is, do we need to make some sort of move here? And again, no time in the pocket. Thankfully, we threw it in the dirt, but we're going to have to punt this ball away here. We also need to see if this defense here can actually stop the run. We struggled a week ago here, and hopefully now we can kind of get some sort of rhythm here. And here's Javonte Williams out of the backfield. He gains a couple yards. Our big free agent acquisitions, our rookies all need to step up this week. We're not putting CJ Gardner-Johnson in the slot this game. We're putting Kyle Gordon in there to see what opportunity he can provide. We got a little rush there by Cam Sample. And another check down here will make it a 3rd down and short. It's time to get off the field here if you're this number 1 defense here. Here comes a little run here with Williams up the middle, and he's able to break free, and he gets to 11 and the 1st down. Those are plays that this defense a year ago really struggled against, and I don't know if it's our linebacking core. I don't know if it's our defensive line. Of course, it's probably a little bit of everything here, as again, Williams will get about 12 more here, and it's just not something we can really afford this year. Denver's orchestrating an excellent drive here. Here comes a play action fake here for Wilson. Settles underneath here, and our defense knocks it away. That was Max Cox here, who we traded all the way back from 27 to 13 to go get him from Kansas State. Second down and 10 here for Russell Wilson and company. Wilson takes the snap. He looks to throw. Josh Allen providing some rush here. And here is Jerry Jeudy, who holds on. He gets the first down, and now that's where we need to see. You know, we brought in Josh Allen to be the big-time pass rusher for this defensive line, and he needs to be able to finish off plays here and get to the quarterback. Here's Williams, an excellent job there by Jamal Adams there. Those are the type of plays we need to see from our strong safety position, and that's why we traded for him. Second down and 12 here. A little quick throw to the outside here, and this is Cortland Sutton with the reception for an easy 4 yards. This is third down and 8 here for Wilson. Our defense trying to bend but not break now, and this is pressure. Allen, Sample, backfield sacked here at the 26. And that's what we need to see from our 2 edge rushers here. I do think Cam Sample is very underrated in terms of our pass rush, but Josh Allen is going to be recording mostly of that sack right there. Love seeing that for our defense. Okay, Justin, let's get into rhythm here on this possession. Play action to start off. We'll go to Max Williams here, who's our veteran backup tight end. It's a good pickup right there. I definitely think this offense will allow Justin Fields with a little bit more play action, utilize that to the best of his ability. And we're going to find right there wide open is DJ Moore, who holds on. There's the alpha receiver. Now Daniel Wright here. And that's our right tackle. We're already dealing with 2 injuries here. Our offensive line can't have that. More play action here for Justin Fields, and he's just going to outrun the entire defense and offense here. And what a job there for our young quarterback in Justin Fields, picking up almost 30 yards on that little play. Love seeing that. So far, much better possession here and much more getting into rhythm for Fields. And here's a good reception. No, it's incomplete. Actually, they're counting that as a fumble for Kendall Bush, who will pick up 4. We keep the ball. Inside the 10-yard line, Fields, more play action, more on the bootleg action. And here is Khalil Herbert out of the backfield. And he will pick up a few more. Third down here for Justin Fields as he looks to throw, looking for anyone not liking anything, and he wants DJ Moore, who sits on it, and he caught it. Touchdown, Chicago. Our first score as a first touchdown in the preseason, and that's an excellent drive here. Getting into rhythm here for this offense, utilizing the play action. Love seeing this possession here, and this is exactly what we want to see from our #1 offense, at least here in preseason week 2. And here we are in the last preseason game, preseason week 3. We did win in preseason week 2, and I just wanted to show you guys and talk to you guys a little bit through it. But this week we'll go through a little bit more of this game, especially with the backups and some players that I'm very, very excited to go through. Playing against this Chargers team that, you know, has Justin Herbert, Khalil Mack, and company. But this week, we're kind of finalizing who we want to continue to keep on the roster, especially the backups. And I'm very excited to get into this, so I'll probably, at the beginning of the second half is probably when I'll start to do commentary. I'm going to play the first half, and then we're going to get into where I'll talk more about the back half of this roster in a couple minutes. And with the power of editing, here we are in the beginning of the second half. We're down 20-14. And now you guys get to see Curtis here at quarterback. He's an undrafted quarterback, and he's going to be getting the opportunity in this second half to show off what he can do. But here, number 36 is an undrafted rookie. What's his name? BJ Cash here. Cash really stood out in last week's performance. He rushed for almost 100 yards. And I really like Cash as just an all-around back, and this is why we like him. He can catch the football out of the backfield. He can make plays in between the tackles. And he's been running very hard recently for this offense. Very excited to see, but let's see what Curtis can do slinging this rock over the middle or something. As he will look for his other rookie receiver, and that is Kendall Bush there, who reels it down. Catches that for 3 yards. But overall, this game so far, our number one offense, our starting offense, has looked good. Tyler Scott has made a lot of key receptions, as well as I do have to check on our rookie offensive lineman. He is not in our lineup right now, and I got to make sure that he has not been cut, or out of the league or something, because that would be ridiculous. You guys don't know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Brad Broman here. Excellent offensive lineman. Excited to see what he can do, but unfortunately, doesn't look like he's on our 53 or on our 70-man roster. And if EA is prone to do anything, it's to take players away. So we'll see. This is something that Cash can do, is catch the football in the backfield. He has excellent hands. He loses 3 there, but I really like BJ Cash as a potential, even starter potentially. He's been looking like an excellent running back, but of course we shall see. Curtis now, he'll look down the field here, and this is Kendall, the target. Can't hold it down. And now we are going to go for this field goal attempt. This is our rookie kicker with 99 kick accuracy with a 51-yard field goal attempt. He should have plenty of leg to bang this through, and he does so. And very excited to have an excellent kicker back there, and he nails this one. Now, in terms of our defense out here, we still have some role players playing, some rookies. But, you know, overall, we're just trying to see who can make this roster, and who's making this tackle, number 20, Timmons, excuse me. He's been an excellent middle linebacker for us through this preseason. He's fast, he's athletic, he can cover a little bit, but he's been making a lot of good plays here. But this is a big-time run here for the Chargers with Spiller, but that's Max Cox being able to track him down. I'm excited to have Max Cox as a starter. He's only out there because of the fact that he's a rookie, and I want to give him as much playing time as possible. But Max Cox with that 95 speed, I'm very excited what he can do. And he's in coverage right now, and he picked that ball off, but he's out of bounds. And I think it's Robinson who's going to be penalized here, who's been just beating the right tackle all game long. And it is on Robinson, but hey, he's been making a lot of plays. I think he already has registered 2 sacks in today's action. That's not going to really deter me from starting him. I really want to see if Cam Sample can really do something in this last preseason game. He is providing a little rush here, and Spiller out of the backfield will be tackled there by Stevenson, who is trying to basically keep us from going with these 3 safety sets that I'm very highly debating about. Also have Jonathan Abram out there. We have plenty of talent out here, and this is our 2 young linebackers combining for that tackle, keeping Spiller out of the end zone. You know, Tyler Chamberlain, he's been making a lot of outstanding plays. You know, he's making me debate right now if I'm going to start him or TJ Edwards as our other off-ball linebacker, and our defense will, right here, be forcing a field goal attempt now. So far, so good. I mean, our defense has been making the necessary plays. We've been getting off the field when necessary, and offensively, we've been able to put up points. Let's see one more possession there for Curtis, and then we'll get into putting together the 53-man roster. Okay, Curtis, let's see what you can do here. Starting at his own 16-yard line, 3 receivers now to his right, and he will hand the ball off to Cash. 4 carries for 20 yards. I really like Cash as the back. He doesn't have the best speed and acceleration and everything, but he just seems like he can make plays when you just give him the football. And right there, that's the perfect example. He's an excellent route runner, and it's something that none of our other running backs, besides Antonio Gibson, can really do. And even if for the time being, he is just a role player on this offense, and he's right now our starting kick and punt returner. If that's all he can provide for right this second, that's fine with me. And that's Matt Dumb here. Dom is an excellent receiver. He's a rookie with a ton of speed. He lays out for that reception. Very excited to give him opportunities. One thing about this team that we have now is depth across the board. There are a few positional groups where we don't have a ton of it, and that's just, that's Derwin James just being Derwin James right there. But we have a ton of depth across the board. The offensive line depth definitely worries me, and backup quarterback and tight end. But other than those few positional groups, we are deep at corner, we're deep at safety, we're deep at wide receiver, we're deep at running back, and, you know, over and defensive line. We have depth across this team, and that's something that we couldn't say last season, as this screen is just not going to work out. We'll go forward here on 4th down and long, but, you know, I'm excited for this, for the amount of depth that we have, the talent on this roster, that hopefully we'll be able to utilize here. And we're going to give our rookie receiver, Kendall Bush, who will go up and reel it down here at the 22. The 10th overall selection will hold on to the rock. And he can go up and make plays. He's 6'5". Just give him an opportunity every once in a while, and he can make plays like that. And that's the reason I drafted him so high. And now let's go back to our ground and pound game here with Cash here, who's going to make an excellent move here, and he will pick up 10 more on his 7th carry. He's been, again, Cash has been a very much a surprise playmaker for this offense here. Same, honestly, with Curtis. Curtis is really making me debate if I want to keep Andy Dalton, as Cash will set us up 1st down and goal here at the 5, as we're just slowly marching our way through, methodically working this field. We're gonna give another carry here to Cash. Let's see what he can do, and that's just Nick Bosa being, or Joey Bosa, excuse me, being Joey Bosa. They still have their starters out there. I guess this is the week that you want to see your starters play, but I don't really want to suffer really any more injuries than we have. We have suffered a couple injuries this game, and it's really the last thing that I think any of us want to deal with. But we're dealing with some of them now. Our left tackle, Braxton Jones, got hurt. And now let's see if Curtis can make a play here with his legs, and he's just gonna fumble the football. Ball still on the ground, picked up here by James. And now, that's how I guess that drive will end. And here in the final preseason game, we will be finishing the 3 games 1 and 2 as we lose to the Chargers 26-17 in a ball game where we got to see a lot of our backups. And we got to see a lot more, some very difficult decisions that were going to have to be made now. In terms of this game, got to see all 3 quarterbacks play. All 3 of them probably produced their best games here. Arguably so. Very happy with all 3 quarterbacks. Andy Dalton was the only one who threw a turnover. BJ Cash ran for 34 yards, 2.8 yards per carry. Khalil Herbert had probably his best preseason game. I don't know who's going to be at the starting running back. Cash also had 6 catches out of the backfield. Tyler Scott showed why he deserves probably to be. We're 4 deep at receiver, to be honest with you guys, and I'm extremely excited about that. Offensive line wise, they played well. I'm going to try to find that other offensive lineman. I don't know if the game just cut him or what. Robinson produced 2 sacks, and I definitely think he's probably going to be the other edge rusher opposite of Josh Allen. So I'm going to go cut this roster down from 75 to 53, and we'll see what we can do. And I'm going to give you guys any sort of news in terms of Brad, that rookie offensive lineman. Okay, so Brad just got injured. I guess it just didn't want to show me in the game, so he's injured, but he will be back beforehand. But now it's time to take this roster, cut it down to 53 men, and we'll see what we can do here. If there's any other roster moves that I do decide to make, I will let you guys know. But let me go cut this roster down. We have 22 players to release, and I will show you guys the final results, and I'll show you guys the starting lineup, and we'll get ready for week 1 versus the Detroit Lions. So I have officially put together the 53-man roster. This is not the complete starting lineup. This is probably as close as it's going to get. There is one face that I did decide to sign. Taylor Lewan was out in free agency, the 33-year-old 11th year tackle. I decided to sign him to a 1-year, about $5 million type of contract. So basically now entering into this season, we have a couple quality depth offensive linemen, and across the board, I'm very excited about that. No really major surprises that got cut. We're fairly deep in the secondary. We're keeping 5 safeties. We're keeping plenty of middle linebackers and linebackers in general. But no surprise really cuts. Quarterback Curtis is moving to the practice squad. If you guys will look at our transactions here. So as you guys can see, who we've signed to the our practice squad. And yeah, there's no really surprise releases across the board. I mean, some of them might be the only probably player that who made any sort of an impact last year was Zach Pickens, who we've moved to the practice squad. I'm hoping that he will stay, but there's probably a good chance that he gets signed somewhere else. So I'm gonna now sim to the next week and put together the starting lineup for you guys, and that will be the last thing we go through. And this will be officially the starting lineup entering into the regular season, starting in week 1 here. So really, what's changed? Well, let's start here at running back. We're gonna go with Khalil Herbert as our starter. He's gonna get those carries. But BJ Cashier, he is gonna get the starting back as the one of the third running backs. So on mostly passing downs, he's gonna be getting those opportunities. Kendall Bush will be the starting slot receiver. And for the time being, Tyler Scott will try to find a role for him to get on the field. But for the time being, Scott is not going to be playing that much. I want to get Tyler Scott on the field more, and as the season progresses, he will most likely get slowly more opportunities. I still see the value in Tyler a hell of a lot. So OBJ for the time being will be the number 2 receiver, but we're going to see. Matt Dunn will get opportunities when necessary. Same thing here with the other running backs here. In terms of this offensive line, we're sticking with the 3 young guys that I really like. We signed Connor Williams to that massive deal. And then Brad here. He's going to be getting the opportunity as our starter from week 1. I think he played very well in the preseason. I'm just hoping that 79 injury does not bite us, because we need him. So that officially makes that Nate Davis, if anything happens in terms of our inside of the offensive line, he's the backup. In terms of tackle, same thing with Taylor Lewan. They will be officially the 6th and 7th offensive linemen on this team. And then Dalton, Paul, and Bromer here will be the backups. Defensively, well, not too much. In terms of the base defense, Puna Ford and Martinez will be starting at defensive tackle, and Camp Sample will be playing. I'm going to give him the opportunity for at least the beginning of the season over Robinson, just because I think Sample does provide a little bit of value. In terms of corner, Jalen Johnson and Max Cox will be playing on the outside, and I am, for the time being, going to be putting CJ Gardner-Johnson when we go into our going 3 corners. He's going to play in the slot for us. That means Eddie Jackson will be at free safety, and, we're 5 deep at safety. I found an undrafted rookie in Isaiah Wolf here who had star development, and I really like his skill set. I think he's a project that we can really work to develop, and I'm hoping that we'll give him some sort of opportunities. In terms of linebacking core, not really too much change here, though. When we go into when we go to 2 linebacker sets, Tyler Chamberlain, the rookie, has officially beat out TJ Edwards. I'm going to go with the youth of this team. I want to see them play, and I'm excited to do so. Our rush defensive ends will be Josh Allen and Robinson, excuse me, and Dexter, and Poona Ford will be starting. So Poona Ford will basically be out there just about every single play with Josh Allen, and then you will see a cycle in of defensive linemen. I've seen comments about making trading away players like Eddie Jackson, Kyle Gordon, and I'll probably see some comments of making some other trades, and trades will most likely occur throughout this season. You know, like I said, I don't feel like we have a steady backup quarterback because of Andy Dalton. I think if we lose Cole Kmet for any duration of the season, I don't know if I can go with Max Cox or Norwell here. He's a fine undrafted tight end that has some speed and some hands, but I don't know if he can really do anything for this offense long term. Defensively, if there's any sort of injuries, especially in terms of the opposite edge rusher, then it's going to be kind of a major question mark. I think, though, we have a ton of depth across this team, a lot more depth than we did a season ago. Entering into year 2, we need to see Justin Fields take the next step. We need to see him become the franchise quarterback, basically. I think he has the skill set, he has the accuracies, or he has better accuracies than we started off with, and he has that athletic ability. Can he show the consistency? And with all the new playmakers around him, that should only help him. We improved this offensive line. We're giving him 2 new starters on the offensive line. We're giving him 2 new wide receivers to play with. We're giving him a plethora of defensive talent here, where we're basically starting over here in terms of safety, corner, and defensive line. We have new starters across the board on this defense, where, let's be honest here, we desperately needed to do so. I'm excited to get into year number 2. I don't know when this episode will be produced. I'm hoping that this will be coming out in the next couple days after I am done editing it. But I'm very excited. I'll show you guys who I'm going to be hiring as our scouts and everything. And we're going to be turning to week 1 versus our divisional rivals, the Detroit Lions. The Lions this season ago was the first team we beat, and then they got a revenge over us. So we know we can beat this team when we were undermanned. And now I think we have more manpower after a whole off season and being able to bring in a plethora of new talent, especially on the defense. So guys, please leave a like, comment down below what you thought of the preseason, and don't forget to subscribe. And if there's any sort of trades that you guys want me to be made, let me know down below. I'm excited to see what you guys can do. I already seen the first 3 weeks, we have 2 divisional matchups. So we're starting off that we need to show that we are a different team, and hopefully we can do so. So guys, again, please leave a like, comment down below what you thought, and don't forget to subscribe. I appreciate you guys so very much, and I will see you in the next one.